welcome to this week's Move series. My name is Debbie Verney. I am the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator with Memorial Health System. I'm here to inspire you to move. Today, you can see I have a mat down on the floor. Vanna White here. I have a mat on the floor. If you don't have a mat at home, you can lie on a rug, you can lie on a towel. I kind of fold mine up. You can see I have it folded in half. So it supports my pelvis a little bit more and my back. All the way out, I really don't need that padding under my legs, just across the back and the pelvis area. So do whatever you need to do to get support down there for you. We are going to be on the floor today, and today is all about adductors, abductors, buns. I have a little bit of abs too. So multitasking at its finest. We're going to start out down on the floor, and we're going to start working with inner thighs. Now, the first thing I want you to do when you get down here is put your hands underneath the hips. Not underneath the waist, but underneath the hips. Legs are going to go up in the air, and we're going to start out with scissors. Take it out, cross. Now, every time you cross, think about contracting the muscles in the glutes or the buns. Toes are pointed on this one. It doesn't hurt if you do it flexed, but we're going to flex it in some other movements. So I'm starting out with toes pointed. Cross and squeeze, open. Cross and squeeze, open. Cross and squeeze. Now you want to remember to keep the upper body relaxed. Keep it melting into the floor. No tight jaw, no biting your lip, no tensing the face, the neck, the shoulders, or the arms. Even though those hands are under that pelvis, we don't want to tense the arms up. Now, the reason that I put the hands underneath the pelvis is to keep the pelvis tipped. That will protect your back with these legs up in the air. Anytime we do an exercise with the legs up in the air, you're incorporating those lower abs as well, because they take a lot of control to keep these legs up here. Now, make sure that you don't take your legs in towards the chest. Keep them straight up. You also don't want them to start dropping toward the floor. That's going to put stress on the back. Alternate which leg is in front every time. Give it a good squeeze. Don't forget about that. Man, I give a lot of instructions. Relax that upper body. Squeeze as you cross. Keep those toes pointed. You want to keep your legs as straight as your flexibility will allow. Now, some people can't straighten their leg, so their legs are going to be bent. But even if your legs are bent, tighten the muscles. Don't have the legs up there all loosey-goosey. Keep them lengthened and as tight as you possibly can. Still squeezing as we cross center, being aware of no tension from the belly button upward. Just belly button downward. All right, let's leave them out. Now flex those feet, and we're going to do tiny little presses. Get those legs open as far as you can. Now, if you're somebody that is extremely flexible, I always caution them to bring the legs in a little bit as they pulse. I don't consider myself extremely flexible in this position. I have a good range of motion, but I have people in class that have much greater than this, and I have them bring it in a little bit with those tiny presses. So, as I always say, you do you, baby. Toes are pulling down towards the shins, flexing those feet, keeping those legs up high, keeping the pelvis tipped. Breathing is very important. I do work for a healthcare system. They like us to be breathing. Now, why are those inner thighs so important that we get them nice and strong and firm? Well, because we feel it's aesthetically pleasing to have those thighs firmed up. But it's very, very important to reducing pain and pressure in the knee. Knees seem to be one of the first things that go as we mature through life. So getting all of the muscle groups above the knees are very, very important to take the stress off the knees. So if you want longevity in your knees, you need to be working the muscles above the knees to take the pressure off, to help carry the load. We're still out there, I know. Tiny little pulses out here. All right, now we're going to take it in halfway and out. In halfway and out. Now your halfway is going to be different than mine because it depends on your own range of motion. My legs are, like I said, a decent range of motion, but I'm not overly flexible in this position. But you want to come in half the distance. So make sure that if you're this flexible, you're not bringing them in 2 inches apart. That's a little bit more than halfway. Upper body is still relaxed, pelvis is still tipped. Yeah, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. All part of the experience. Now, for those of you that are beginners, this is pretty intense today. So feel free to do just what you can. Put your legs down and then start back up when you can. I suppose I really didn't need to tell you that. If you want to stop, you'll stop. But this is a more moderate to advanced workout on inner thighs and outer thighs, lower body in general. So when you need to stop, you take a break and then jump back in. Hopefully, if you keep repeating this video, you'll be able to get through the entire thing. All right, now, toes are gonna point and we're gonna draw little circles. There's pencils at the end of your toes and we're making circles. These aren't overly big circles and they're not just ankles circling. They're the entire leg circling around. Upper body is still relaxed, we're breathing. Legs are in a state of convulsion right now at this point. If you can keep going. If you need to stop, stretch it out, jump in when you can. I'm even getting a few cramps in my toes from this pointing. All right, reverse those circles. Upper body is still relaxed. My legs are angled in turnout, which means my heels are slightly more inward than my toes. That gets in a little bit deeper to those inner thighs. Reverse it. Make sure you breathe. It'll help you get through this. Remember, like I said, we're hitting those abs too. Reverse it. Just holding those legs up there. Recruits the abdominal muscles and the back for help. All right, pull those knees in towards those armpits. Pull them in close. Do some ankle circles from all that pointing and flexing. Keep those knees pulling inward but open towards the armpits. Reverse the circles on your ankles. All right, now we're gonna come up, we're gonna flip around. We're still staying on the floor, but now we're gonna go into the outer thigh and the bottom. So we're gonna go up on all fours, abs engaged. My knees are directly down from my hip joints, my wrists straight down from my shoulders. So we are gonna do some hydrants, alternating side to side. Thing here that you want to watch is that when you drop the knee down to the floor, you are going right back to where you started, so that knee is directly beneath the hip. It is not coming all the way into the other leg. There is a space between the knees when they are on the floor. Abs are tight because as I lift this leg, I am incorporating abs. Nice control here. Toes are pointed again. Alternating hydrants. You want to work that range of motion. Everybody can't take their knee up as high as their hip, but that is your ultimate goal here. If you can only take it a few inches off the floor, that's fine. Take it a few inches off the floor. Just keep moving. Use control. Don't fling that leg up like this and bring it and let it drop down. You lift it, you lower it. Now we're going to change it up this time. I'm going to take it out, extend it back, bring it back into that hydrant and down. Other leg. Out, extend, into hydrant, and down. 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 Out, extend, in, and down. Squeeze those abs. Extend, in, and down. Out, 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 extend, in, and down. All right, now we're gonna lie on our side. Again, I have that mat doubled to give my hip support. You can either lie your head all the way down on the arm or put the head in the hand. Bottom leg is bent for balance. Top leg is straight. We're going to flex the foot, 2 ladder steps up, 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 pull front in a right angle, press it back in a right angle, and up, up, pull front in a right angle, push it back in a right angle, and up, up. Now I point the toes, pull front in a right angle, and press it back in a right angle, and up, up, pull front, press back, and up, up, pull front, press back. You want to make sure that your hip is not rocking front and back. You want to keep it stationary. Put some weight on that hand that is resting on the floor in front of you. Keep the abs squeezed ever so tightly. Push it back and extend. Up, up, pull front, right angle, press back in that right angle, extend with a flexed foot, up, up, pull front, press back, extend, up, up, pull front, press back, extend, up, up, pull front, press back, extend. 2 more, up, up, pull front, press back, extend, up, up, pull front, press back, extend, and break dance on over to the other side. Same thing. Body position is arm is down, head in hand, or head all the way down on arm, front leg bent, foot is flexed, and up, up, pull front, right angle, press back, right angle, extend, up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Up, up, pull front with pointed toes, press back with pointed toes, extend with a flexed foot. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. 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 Squeeze those abs. Up, up, pull front, right angle, press back, right angle, extend. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Make sure this hip is not rotating back and forth, but it's staying stationary, or what we called in dance, a closed hip. Up, up, pull front, right angle, press back, right angle, extend. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Two more. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. Up, up, pull front, press back, extend. All right, we're gonna sit up for a second. Stretch out those outer thighs. Leg crosses over. Pull that shoulder in. Put your hand as close to the bottom as you can behind you. And look back over that shoulder, pulling that knee across to opposite shoulder. Sitting up tall. And change legs. Grab that knee, pull it across. Hand gets placed as close to the bottom as you can. Rotate the torso and look back over that shoulder. Keep squeezing that knee in. Breathe. All right, on your back again. Oh yeah, you thought it was over. It's not. Okay, we're gonna lie down. We're gonna do some bridging. Feet apart, my legs are shaking. I hope yours are too. Feet are apart a little bit wider than hips. Roll those shoulder blades under, palms up. We're going to squeeze up and squeeze in, open and down. Squeeze up and squeeze in, open and down. Now we're doing a little bit of combination here, outer thigh and inner thigh, hitting those glutes, and as that pelvis is tipping as you go up, you're also working the abdominals. Up and in, open and down. Up and in, open and down. Give it a tight squeeze when those knees come in. Keep your arms relaxed from shoulders all the way to fingertips. Make sure you're not just pushing the feet into the floor to get the buns up. Make sure that you are contracting the buns, tipping the pelvis, squeezing those knees in, keeping those arms relaxed. Up and squeeze, open and down. 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 Really squeeze those knees tight. Really squeeze those buns as tight as you can. But remember to keep the upper body relaxed. Now ladies, this works everything on the inside as well as the outside, so it helps to create support on that bladder, keeping things in place so we can sneeze freely, run freely, cough freely without worry. Lift and squeeze, open and down. 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 Now move those feet together, knees together. We're going to take that in reverse. Lift it open, in and down. Lift it open, in and down. Feet stay tight together. Lift and open, in and down. Lift and open, in and down. Push those knees out, in and down. Squeeze them tight as you lower the buns back to the floor. Squeezing those knees on the downward movement. Squeezing the buns on the upward movement. Opening those knees as far apart as you can. Remember, today is about strengthening the muscles above the knees so we can have quality of life with our knees longer. Getting that pressure off the knees is all about gaining strength in the muscles above the knees so those knees aren't carrying the load all by themselves. Push it up and out, in and down. Up and out, in and down. 5 more. 5, in and down. 4, in and down. 3, in and down. 2, in and down. 1, in and down. Pull those knees back to those shoulders again. Do some ankle circles. Open those knees up, but keep pulling them in. If you're in a position that you can't grab those knees and pull them in, have a bath towel handy, a strap, a belt. Put them behind the legs, slide it underneath behind the legs, and just pull them into where you can. All right, put those feet up so we're supporting the ceiling. Grab the insides of those arches. Legs are in right angles. This is a little happy baby. Pulling from the inside of the arches. Taking my arms and pressing those knees open. Now reaching my hands to the outside of the feet. Pulling down. A little bit of rock in the baby, side to side, loosening up that low back. All right, I think we accomplished what we wanted to today. Stronger muscles above the knees will give you quality of life. You'll have many more years using your original knees without pain and inflammation if you get those muscles above the knees stronger. Now, like I said, for beginners, if you can't get through all that, it got pretty intense, do what you can. But every time you pull this video up and you repeat it, try to remember where you left off and then be happy about the accomplishments you've made as you've gotten stronger and you're able to hang in there a little bit longer. Well, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I bring these to you because I want you to have quality of life. Memorial Health System wants you to live your best life ever, and it's about preventative maintenance, not always about taking care of the issue later. So do what you can. If you can't get down on the floor, guess what? I bet you have a bed in your house, and you can lay on it and do these same exercises. Once again, my name is Debbie Varney. I am the Fitness and Wellness Coordinator with Memorial Health System. This is our Move series. I hope you move today. I'll be back again next Friday. Bye-bye.